Imagine, if you will, it's 3 a.m., pitch black. You're strapped into the cockpit of a single-engine, single-seat, $30 million F-16 jet fighter, operating hundreds of weapons and sensors, monitoring your wingman, dodging surface-to-air missiles and anti-aircraft artillery, all while accelerating through 9 Gs of force, so that it feels like your face is gonna rip off of your skull. And you're loving every minute of it. And you know exactly the feeling, because it's the exact feeling you have when you land that deal and close that huge sale. Words can't describe the passion we both have for winning, the thrill of victory. But words also can't describe the fears and doubts we face every single time we strap into our cockpits to fly our missions and serve our customers. And the thing that makes a difference above all else is commitment. It's the way you're gonna unleash the power of you. That's what I want to talk to you about today. Now, in order to fly this mission, I need to know that you're on my wing, because I can't fly it solo either. So what I need us to do is what we did flying this awesome F-16 aircraft in the Republic of South Korea, where I spent a year along the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, often doing crazy things that didn't make the news. And what we would do to show that we were ready to take the fight to the enemy and win is we give each other the hang loose sign, which was symbolic of another beast, the eyes of that Black Panther staring us down. And while simultaneously thrusting our left hand forward as if we were going to full power on the throttle, 30,000 pounds of thrust out the back of that aircraft, we would yell out in a loud and thunderous Air Force voice, "Push it up," to show that we were ready to win. So you guessed it, my friends. We're gonna do a hardcore Cisco push it up here right now, all right? So I want your butts out of your seats and get those low-fat bacon bits from this morning and drinky winkies. And we're gonna let the rest of Vegas know that you're in the house. Every HPE rep is gonna move to the Antarctic, all right? So here we go. Pinky thumb, left hand there. Attention to detail, folks. Attention to detail, left hand. Now, here's what we're gonna do. When I say the words commit, commit, that's your preparatory command to pull back that throttle and then immediately thrust that hand forward, and I want to hear a loud and thunderous push it up. You guys ready? So here we go. Now don't worry, folks, here's the deal. If everybody does it, nobody will look stupid. So here we go. Commit, commit. Commit, commit. Cisco in the house, give yourself some love. Nicely done. Now, I know some of you are like, listen, Waldo, in all due respect, just a little too motivational for Vegas. And believe me, you wouldn't be in these seats if you weren't already pushing it up. But sometimes as leaders, which every one of you are, sometimes you have to do what you don't necessarily want to do. To push it up, even though you want to pull it back. To commit yourself to excellence. And the key to success in life, I don't care if you're a fighter pilot or selling servers and technology with Cisco, is to resist the temptation we all have when there's pressures to perform and change happens and uncertainty strikes, to ease up on the throttle of our commitment when we know we should be pushing it up because others are depending on us. And the key to success is also this, to resist the temptation to ease up when you're doing well. You heard the news, you guys are taking the fight to the enemy, doing awesome. Because you know what happens when you start easing back the throttle? It's called complacency. And complacency kills, my friends. It kills fighter pilots who think we're too cool for school, not to stick to the fundamentals, to get back to the basics, to not take for granted the fact that we're the #1 fighting force in the world. When the enemy sees us coming, they normally turn around. And it can kill margins and partnerships and revenue and pipeline if you fail to commit yourself to excellence every single day. So you gotta love the fight, you gotta love the competition. It's gotta be part of your DNA. Because in the words of General George S. Patton, you're always on parade. Everything you do, everything you say, how you show up, the snap in your salute, your passion, your drive, it's contagious. That accountability is contagious. And your teammates, your customers, your peers, many who are not in this room, they're watching you. So are you pulling it up? or pushing it up, or are you pulling it back? But it's also how you deal with change that counts. You could be committed to excellence, but the next level is being committed to the mission. And commitment to the mission means for Top Gun leaders like you, especially in sales, that you're mission ready. MR for short. Confident in the most important wingman or wingman there is, yourself. You see, wingmen never wing it. You can't fly by the seat of your pants. You can't sell by the seat of your pants. So how are you preparing? It's one of the key things that makes fighter pilots and soldiers positively confident in the precarious world of combat. And so you always have to be setting up your briefings, gathering the latest, greatest intel, making sure that you're relevant on every one of your missions. You can't bring donuts to sales meetings, right? You gotta bring value, solutions, make sure you're relevant. We have a saying in the Air Force, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in battle. And the winners, the top guns here at Cisco, you know it's the things you do behind the scenes. It's also about leveraging your technology. Leveraging the tools that you learned about, the products and suite of services, and all the things that you do to differentiate, but also leveraging your tools that you use to engage the prospect, to find the stakeholder, and close the business. I mean, look at this cockpit. You think Salesforce is tough? Give me a break, right? Got to get in the books. And so part of that is also understanding that you're flying your F-16. This jet is 50 years old. Still a legacy, just like Cisco. And the reason why it's relevant is because all those weapon systems that are constantly being upgraded on that jet. That's why you're here. That's why you spent the last few days together. But I want you to think about you, the Top Gun wingman or wingman in that cockpit flying that jet. I want you to think about it, especially when you head back to your offices in the 17 countries represented here. Think about how you can upgrade your weapon system. Your health and fitness, your mindset, your courage, your ability to deal with change and stress, because this is how you can fly like a champion. But there may be a contingency. You can give some love, but you can save it for the end, all right? I got 5 more minutes here. So you can be committed to excellence and passionate about what you do. You can be prepared and understand every contingency, every what if, every plan that may go wrong when it comes to sales objections or whatever. But the next level of being a top gun and enhancing the power of the most important wingman there is, yourself, is to be committed to the team. And this is why we never fly solo, folks. We're only as strong as our weakest link. This is that whole one Cisco mentality that you're all operating in every single day. One person fails to do his or her job, the whole mission fails. So you gotta understand that it's okay to say the 3 most important words in business and life, which are, I need help. Mayday, mayday. That's the wingman's call to action. You got 10,000 Top Guns here and the rest of this DNA ecosystem called Cisco flying on your wing to be able to help you and support you. And I think one of the most important things you could do as a leader, as a mentor and coach, not just as a salesperson, is to be that Top Gun wingman, encouraging, supporting, lifting up your team, making sure you're there for them to help them dodge the missiles and deal with the engine failures and contingencies that may happen. This is so critical on building that ecosystem. Leaders lift, we encourage, we back each other up with confidence and love. And one of the things that we do that really makes a huge difference for fighter pilots in building this collaborative culture is we check each other's 6. And that means we're having each other's back. Because we all have a blind spot. 12 o'clock's pretty easy to see, and same with 3 and 9, but you've got a blind spot behind you. And you may not be able to see every contingency, every issue that may factor into that sale, especially if a competitor's coming in trying to undercut you. But your wingman or wingman can. And this is really, really important on building this collaborative culture of trust that innovates, adapts to change, and ultimately grows. And so you gotta be open to the feedback that you may not wanna hear but need to hear. You guys had a huge acquisition with Splunk. You're changing your ecosystem, new ELT team, right? So there's different perspectives that are critical. And I don't care the color of your skin, your religion, your race, your sexuality, everybody has something to give. And you gotta be open to that feedback and get that ego out of the way. And there are a lot of unsung heroes that are part of this amazing company. Most who aren't here. And there were folks that were flying on my wing that, man, I made sure I went out of my way to thank those top guns. And you know who they are. Security and trust and CX and the BEs, all the folks that support you. Got to give them love, man. So critical. Because if you fail to check their six and they fail to check yours, they're going to check out. And so we have to fill their jets with the most important fuel of performance, which is appreciation. Make sure you're going out of your way, especially after you leave here, to thank those top guns who are allowing you to execute and win, have that confidence in this precarious world of artificial intelligence and security that you're operating in. But before I leave, I need to make sure that we review what we really fight for every single day. It's the people that we love, not just the people who we fight for. And so there are so many people that are part of your life, that are part of your formation that may not be here. But when things are going tough, you gotta re-tap into that ignition, which is who you really love. This is the meaning to your mission, folks. This is what gave fuel to my fire and my jet when I was on those long combat missions scared to death. And you know who else you're fighting for? Look around this room. These are your top guns here at Team Cisco. You spent a few days spending time with each other. Make sure you're writing some names down and staying in contact, because you never know when you're gonna need your wingman to push up that throttle and take out a target and win. We gotta land this jet, folks, and we're gonna do it in full power. I want everybody out of your seats. One more time, here we go. Now here's the deal, folks. Many people come up to soldiers who served and say, thank you for your service. And I'm telling you how important that is for us. It brings meaning to our mission, makes us confident to serve. But here's my advice to you as my new top guns. If you really want to say thank you to the people who fight for your country, to be the type of person worth fighting for. And that's the same deal with Cisco. Be the type of teammate others are fighting for. Wingman, you guys ready? Here we go. Commit, commit. One more time. God bless you, folks.